Welcome in, guys. Welcome back to King Josiah TV, where the game of this channel was created to educate, promote, and influence the kingdom of Jesus Christ in this world. I am your host, Josiah. And guys, before we get started, please do me a great favor. If you're listening live or you're listening audibly, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on YouTube, if you're listening again on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give me the follow button. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys.
Watch giants fall like Goliath. David, I dance, this ain't no tick-tock. God told me that my steps was ordered. Walking in flip-flops, Chris Rock, how they laughed at me
for their dating show, Pretty Little Show Live. You heard of it. It's on YouTube. I don't know if it streams on any like TV like networks or anything, but I know it's very popular on YouTube. They recently had a Christian gentleman on there. The show is called Pop the Balloon or Fall in Love. I believe that's the name of it. And they had a Christian gentleman on there that he was tested on his faith. And he was testing other women. And it just really spoke to me about how we can be unequally yoked when we're in the dating sector as Christians, how we should navigate. And I really appreciated how he navigated and how he answered these questions that these people had for him, because his faith was tested. He was judged for it and looked at differently. Because I mean, I know when I was dating, it was kind of hard because to say, oh, I'm a Christian, I don't want to have sex before marriage. I'm a Christian, I want to do this. I want somebody that's pursuing God like I am as a Christian. Can be very hard, especially when you're doing it in a secular sense or in a secular place. But guys, let's go ahead and we're gonna pull this up here.
Feel about supporting women that has like their own things going on, or do you feel like a woman should play the back and like the man should be just like the, you know?
I believe we support each other, but me being the head, I believe if we're not aligned correctly and depending on what it is that you're into, if I don't support that, then I don't think I wouldn't be a part of it. But it depends on what it is that you have going on. But it's just if it's just something like say we both agree, or it's just your own thing, and I'm not against it, like morally and value, then I would support you.
Yeah, so I do music. So my plan is to be a really huge artist. You know what I mean? Like that's the goal. That's the only goal. So what does that look like for you if I become like this big artist?
It doesn't faze me at all. But also, what is the message that you put out into the world? Because our children are going to be looking up to you as their mother, and whatever you're putting into them is going to affect me as well.
Okay.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's a good answer.
All right.
But guys, because when she was talking about that, I mean, it talks about exactly, you know, there's things that, you know, when it comes to when you're dating, we have to vet these things out. You know, the Bible says, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, for this partnership of righteousness is lawlessness. Or what fellowship does light have with darkness? And I think a lot of us Christians have to be bold enough and have enough trust in ourselves and trust in God that we can stand flat-footed on our beliefs and not waver on them. Because I did that. You wavered on your faith and you kind of compromised for your faith for somebody that wasn't as deep in their faith, and you actually end up in more trouble. And it can put you through way more anguish than just saying, okay, hey, you believe different than I do. And even this woman that saw, yo, I'm gonna be a Christian, I'm gonna be an artist that's gonna be in the world doing these things. And just by what you wear and just by who you say you are, I know you're not going to be with it. And most of us are compromised. Like, oh, no, I wouldn't judge you like that. No, just stand flat footed. You know what? We're not going to agree on that. You know? So we're going to go ahead and move forward in this video just a tad.
To determine if this is a match?
So, like, what is something that you believe your role is as a wife? Do you believe in getting married?
Yes, I do want to get married. I'm dating to marry.
All right, and then what is it that you believe in as far as like how's your walk with Jesus? That's what I'd like to know.
I'm still working on it. I just now started getting closer to him again because I did like fall off a little bit when I joined the military. But I've been doing Bible study with my friends like once a week. I go to church. I watch sermons on YouTube. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
There, but
it's nothing against you personally. I just feel like where I am at in my walk with Jesus, I just feel like it has something in the call that's on my life that I need something more, like just more in depth, a stronger relationship. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but you're very beautiful though.
Thank you.
We can have you.
And that was one thing that I messed up again when I was dating. I would see somebody where I was up here spiritually and they were down here. And I was like, no, I can just bring them up. Not to say that that can't happen. Not to say that God can't allow that to happen in your life, but you have to have the spiritual wisdom to like, I need to walk away from you. You're not really into your faith like that, because that happened to me dating people that said that, oh, they were just a Christian and it's just a name badge or something that they say. And then when we get into the real of the relationship and you realize, oh, this dude a Christian for real. I just go to church on Sundays to read my Bible once a week. That can cause a lot of strife, a lot of pull on both sides. So no, what this gentleman is doing is very wise of him to be like, again, I can't do it. I got to walk away from you because this is just not going to work.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And over here, do you live with your parents?
No.
Okay. Now, as long as this is an issue for you.
No, but I do have like a follow up with that. Okay. So like in the future, what like how would that look like for you? If would you want to move, or would you rather have the man move to you, or how did that work out?
Where are you?
Yeah, man. When it comes to dating, like me and my wife were long distance. She lived in Nebraska. I lived in Florida, and we did the long distance thing. And one time she lived in Colorado because she was traveling nursing at the time. And that's something you have to take into perception as well as distance. I mean, FaceTime now, that can change it, but with the wrong person, wrong people, that can cause trust issues and cause a lot of problems. So that's something I feel like people should vet out. I think that you shouldn't pull away from somebody because they don't live in the same state as you, but you have to make sure that that's something that you're both working towards an end goal, not just dating long distance just to date long distance. There has to be a goal of you guys eventually coming together, because it becomes pointless after a period of time.
Are you first before she answers it?
Oh, I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, okay.
I'm based out of Houston, but
it would just depend on like the relationship and how far it progresses.
mm-hmm.
I do have a business out here, so that's something I would have to consider packing up and moving.
Yeah.
But if it came to it, then I would probably move, or if it just whatever makes the most sense at the time.
Okay. And can I ask another question? Oh, well, what is it that you
You're
believe
gonna get
in
to it.
as far as like what do you believe in? Religious
Here we
wise?
go.
Religion. That's a deep question. I mean, I didn't really.
We need the deep questions, miss. We want the deep questions. And that's the issue with dating. People don't want to answer the hard questions. They want to answer the deep questions. You got to ask the dumb, the stupid questions when you're dating. Who do you serve? When you say you serve God, is it Jesus, Buddha, who? Let's get specific. Is it Jesus or is it somebody else? Do you have a relationship issue? Do you have trust problems? You got to vet out all these things, especially what they believe in.
I grew up in the church, but I do believe in God. So.
And God, when you say that, who can you give me a name for that? Like, who is it that you believe in as God? What do you recognize?
Specifics, miss.
Recognize as God? Allah, Buddha, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Like that's just what I've been taught so far, but I didn't grow up in the church, so I haven't really explored other religions to know.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I would be
All
here.
right. It is time to pop a balloon. Just one of them, whenever you're ready. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
She gonna come right back to him. Watch.
Just go here.
Okay. Oh wow, that one really exploded. Okay, so why'd you have your balloon unpopped for her?
She's very attractive, and also I want to hear what she had to say. See how everything worked out, or what she had to say.
Okay. Why do we end up popping his?
I could see religion is very big for you. Like it's on your shirt, your chain, and stuff like that. I didn't grow up like that, so I don't think that would be a good match because I don't really.
I wouldn't say it's religion, because honestly, I mean, and because you say it in government, I don't mind teaching, but religion, traditional stuff, that really is what separates people from having a relationship with God or Jesus. It's more about relationship, and that's what He wants. But I mean, that's something like we haven't been taught about. I'm not gonna penalize you for it, neither is He. So yeah, but you know about it, you're aware, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our two.
And guys, I'm glad that he, just like I said, that young gentleman stood flat-footed on that. And guys, at the end of the day, one thing that I actually, before I get into that, I want to read the verse out of John 15, because as you saw as he was walking through this, he was vetting through the women and things like that, but he was pushed out of that because of his beliefs, which I believe was his saving grace. Because again, I've gotten into situations, we've all gotten in relationships with people that we thought were fine, good looking and all that, and they were truly just a lukewarm Christian, or really not a Christian, but just wore the label, and you run into bigger issues. And so you have to realize, even in the dating space, this verse about God, you being hated for his namesake, or you being pushed out of things because his namesake, applies to the dating section as well. Again, and that's in John 18 and 25, guys. If the world hates you, keep in mind that they hated me first. If you belong to the world, it will love you as its own. And as it is, you do not belong to the world, but have been chosen out of the world. This is why the world hates you. Remember what I told you. A servant is no greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teaching, they will obey yours also. They will treat you this way because of my name, for they do not know one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin, but they have no excuse for their sin. So I won't read the whole verse, guys, there, but that kind of goes into, again, what we were talking about is again, as a Christian, as a believer, when you're in that dating space, be knowledgeable enough to know that, hey, they are going to look at you different. That when you're going into dating, us Christians, we date for marriage. We date to create a union between us and God, and to serve a greater purpose bigger than ourselves. Most people date now for sex, money, or for some other vain reason. But as Christians, we date for marriage, to have a covenant between another person resembling our relationship with Christ. We date to have children and to populate the earth as God told us to do, and accomplish in this earth what God wanted us to do, and be that mirror of God and Jesus and the church. So, guys, that gentleman was right. When he was talking about personal relationship, that God wants a relationship, it's not religion. There's a giant difference between that. Because, guys, we have to actively be pursuing God, actively looking for that relationship. And when you get into a relationship, especially with somebody of the opposite sex, that you're potentially vetting for marriage or for a long-term relationship, these things we have to keep in mind, because these things can either ruin you, pull you away from God, and get you into further sin by being in a relationship with people that truly aren't Christians, that truly aren't believers. It's better for you to walk away and stand flat-footed on your beliefs than to stick around and try to bring people up, try to witness to people. And there's relationships and things like that has occurred, but I would say, in my best opinion, I would say stick away from that. And I applaud this young man for what he did on that show, guys. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. This is episode 24 of the King Josiah TV podcast. Thank you for everybody for listening, for sticking along with me. We're going to, again, wrap it up here. If you're listening, guys, on YouTube, go ahead and smash the subscribe button, the like button if you haven't yet. The likes help the algorithm. They help me build the channel. They help us create more stuff and get these things out to you on a weekly and a daily basis. If you're listening audibly on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go and give me that follow button, guys. Thank you guys again for listening, and I will see you guys next week.
But my salvation on me like it's a helmet. The way you sin is death, send you to hell quick. Wanted to be all about me, God, I was selfish. I was rebellious.